So I just needed to test for somebody struggling with the Zoom network. You can still stream live on YouTube. So I shared the YouTube link. That's just what I wanted to confirm. So I just wanted to be sure that we can see that. So if your network, I just needed to test for somebody struggling with the Zoom network. You can still stream live on YouTube. So I shared the YouTube link. That's just what I wanted to confirm. So I just wanted to be sure that we can see that. So if your network, I just needed to test for somebody struggling. So we are back to the slide. So we are back to the slide. I'll keep it full like before. So this is where we are. Would you like to see app live in action, which we are currently seeing? So the next thing, physically, we are currently planning a training where we'll be coming with TAP across Nigeria. And that will be in Enugu, in Enugu, in Lagos, in Abuja. So those are the places we'll be coming with live. We mean with the TAP system live. So at this point, we've come to the end of the presentation. I'll be taking your question before I talk about how we'll be coming live to discuss it. But basically, let me give us a brief of what it entails before we take the question. So it is called the Certified GNSS Professional, and it will be in Abuja on the 20th and 21st of March, in Enugu on the 27th and 28th of March, and in Lagos on the 3rd and 4th of April. This is a 2 days intensive training where we'll talk about PPP service. Physically, you do it. PPP using RTK, using TAP, PPP using static operation, connecting to CORS station. We have about 15 CORS across Nigeria at the moment. How you can begin to connect with any of them based on, anywhere you're having your project. So it's going to be a certified training, certified by Tersus and Sacredion together, so that the certificate you're getting is not just a Sacredion certificate, but a certificate also recognized by Tersus. So I know many of us might say, I know so much about GNSS. I don't need this training, but I don't think knowledge is what we can say we can exhaust. So it's a training that is 2 days. We'll go through PPP, CORS station connection, PPP in real time, PPP in post-processing, how you can even, if let's say you don't have a PPP service, but you can also have a static one where you can carry out static and process with an online service for free. If you can't go with the PPP, real-time service, we'll talk about that. I'll also talk about how you can have, for everyone that comes to this training, we always give them access to some of the CORS stations that we have opportunity to manage. We'll show them how they can connect to them, or how they can have access to the administrator in all those states where they can connect. Apart from that, you have access to our team for project support involving GNSS. We'll also do that. So at this point, I would like to take your question. If you found this session interesting, let us know. And it is a paid service. I'm going to open the part for everyone to ask questions. It's a paid service. And by it being a paid service, we are looking at 250,000 per person for the training for those interested. But for the early bird space, which will run till the end of February, towards early bird space will run for 150,000. You're only seeing this now because you're in this session. When we bring out the live flyer, it will run till maybe like the 10th of March. Our early bird will be 150,000. But this early bird is because you are in the live session. That is why it is just 100. So at this point, I would like to take our question. And if you found this session interesting, just encourage and drop an emoji of clap. You can put your hands there in the comment section and I'll keep it open. And if you have questions to ask, this is the time to raise your hand so we can begin to call those that would give audience to ask their question. If you have questions, please raise your hand. I will call. Okay, I'm seeing James Chukudi. James Chukudi, you can unmute yourself.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
All right. Thank you so much for this session. My question is regarding the paid conference that is coming up in Enugu and Co., which you mentioned that participants would have access to the core stations that you are able to manage within the country. Is it going to be possible if I attend and I have access to the core stations in Owerri, Enugu, Calabar, and Co. without an express permission from their handlers in those states?
Yeah, just hold on. Chukudi, can you see my screen?
Is that?
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
So go on. Okay, go on. I just want to be sure. Okay, now let me answer that. Because we have access to those in all the places we have CORS. I'm having feedback. I'm wondering why. Okay, it's better now. I think you've muted. So because we have access to everywhere we have CORS, so we know the administrator. But how you are going to have access to the administrator is only if we have a one-on-one interaction and we introduce you to the administrator. Do you understand? It's not everybody I will just call and say, this is the administrator, please support this man, he has a project in this place. Currently, Ogun State, Oyo State, Osun State, Cross River, Ebonyi. When we'll be in Enugu for our training, we're going to show you how you can even connect to Ebonyi. The administrator will let you know with their Ebonyi, Ondo states, Edo states, so Niger states, Abuja, Lagos, 15 of them across Nigeria. So if you be live in the training, like I said, the account number is there. I'm sure we can see the account number. You can actually make a transfer to that account even while we speak. Let me see. It seems it's not. Just hold on. Okay, I'll be taking the next question. Just before I take the next question, I believe that's clear. I believe I've been able to answer your question, sir. So I'm taking the next person. That will be Surveyor Suleiman. Suleiman, you can unmute yourself. Suleiman, you can unmute yourself now.
Good evening, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for this wonderful webinar. God bless you. My question is on how we can get connected to use this tap mode on our receiver. How do we go about that?
Very good question. Go on.
So how do we get to use the tap mode on our receiver? Is there any settings we are going to follow?
Yes,
So
so
that's
the
just
tap, that's your question. Yes. The tap, like I said, is a Tersus advanced positioning, and is a special receiver designed for it. So that receiver has just been launched in 2025 for this service. And that receiver it comes with a special board. So it's our latest series of receiver. And because the tap is a paid service, I would like us to take note of that. It's a paid service. For 1 year, the tap subscription is $450 for 1 year. That is less than $40 per month. Note, it's a global system, and based on the global project you have, you will look at it. And I'm talking to Tersus now so that it doesn't have to be a 1 year payment system. What if somebody is not using it? So if it is what you would need, we are looking at how you can even get a 1 month system for it. But it is a specially designed GNSS receiver. We have Oscar Tap, we have Oscar Ultimate Tap, we have Oscar Basic Tap. So it's a special receiver that you can just get a single rover for it, and you'll be able to connect and receive the correction. So like I said, if you'll be involved in this training, we are going to show you more about how it works. And that's the account number to make payment to. And we'll take notes. The training is still in March. It's in March and April. But we will begin to collect all those that are doing. After the session, what you will see is going to be 150,000 for those that will be in that session. But because you registered, I'm going to still send you a reminder about this training in your email. For everyone that register, you have the privilege of paying only 100,000. Like I said, it's a special subscription. So let me take the next question from. Let me take the next question. So I'm trying to see those that raise their hands also. Do we still have other people asking questions? Okay, okay. I'm seeing some of your eBay. So eBay, you can unmute yourself. So your eBay, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Oh, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Please, though my question has been partly answered by the second person that asked his question. Still on that tab, I want to know, because I've seen that icon in my receiver. Is it the same icon you are talking about, or it will come with another that will be installed in our receiver, or there will be a special receiver for that?
So the data logger and the software is that's for users of Tersus. The data logger is a general data logger. So even if you don't have that feature, for instance, you can see tilt, but your receiver might not have tilt ultimate, but the software might show you that. So it is there, but it's only if you have the tap receiver that you can get it. After this discussion, I will send some via email a breakdown of the options of tap for those that will be interested. But during the live training, we'll see it practically. We'll demonstrate it practically in that certified GNSS professional training. It will be demonstrated practical. So I don't want us to miss it. And that's why we are going around. We are not just saying only in Lagos. It's going to be in Lagos, in Abuja, and in Enugu. So in those 3 regions, we are having this training, like we've said. So for those that are interested, just go ahead and join us in the training.
Okay, thank you, sir. I answered already.
Will there be any other question? Okay, good. I'm seeing Timmy. Timmy, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, I have a question, but the question is not related to the lecture you gave. Am I permitted to ask?
Of course, you can ask. You go ahead.
Okay. One of my questions is that, is it possible to carry out leveling operation with the receiver we have connected with CORS station? Do you get my question?
You said mining operation.
No, leveling operation
Okay.
with our receiver connected with CORS station.
Okay, now, so if we say level, we'll look at the aspect of leveling. Will you say for road or for just to understand the level, like a topographical survey?
Yes, transferring of leveling from one place to another. Maybe you want to transfer leveling to the height that you have in one place to another.
So now, if you want to transfer height from one place to another, like you can use your regular level to do the transfer. Why people
Yes.
use level is because of the level of, because of the accuracy you can get. Do you understand? That's why they use level. Because with using level, you can have millimeter level of accuracy. But using GNSS, for transfer of level, you'll be having something around 1 cm to 2 cm. So if that is what you want to do, that's what you'll be having. But for, let's say for drainage system, most times level is preferably because it's just a short space and your CORS station might be coming from a very far distance, except it's very close. And the longer away you are from the CORS, you might be having 2-3 cm level of accuracy. But for leveling, you want your accuracy to be within millimeter. Within millimeter, less than 1 cm. So that is why level is still preferable for drainage work. That's why digital level is even still selling. That can give you about 0.7 millimeter accuracy. Because you want to really control your flow. And your flow might be very, very minimal. Your slope might be very gradual.
Okay. And the second question is that, is it possible to work with local origin with our instrument? What
Absolutely.
I mean about the local, yeah, okay. So how are we going to go about that? Maybe
Let
we
me
want
say
to
like
work with
NNO, right?
NNO. Yes.
NNO. Yeah, with your GNSS, you can work with NNO. Now, within the coordinate system framework, you can define a local coordinate system. And that is why you only need to know the transformation parameter. Once you know the transformation parameter of that your local system, you can define it within the data logger, within the coordinate system, where you create your own local coordinate system. And that can be done. Where are you based?
I'm based in Ibadan.
Yeah, so because the training we are doing will cover coordinate system definition. It will also cover all that. Defining your own local coordinate system is part of the content of the training. I will send an email that will break down the training after this session so that we'll all understand.
All right, thank you, sir.
Your question is yes, you can define your own local coordinate system. Even in some construction sites, they have their own local system. That can also be defined. There's also the level of what we call site calibration using GNSS. You can carry out site calibration where you can even have your coordinates appearing like a total station coordinate, let's say 4 digits. That's called site calibration. It's part of what we do in the certified GNSS professional training. So I would encourage you, Ibadan is not far away from Lagos. Just Ibadan to Lagos, it's about 1 hour. So you can take 2 days and stay in Lagos for the training. That of Lagos is coming up in April. But you can register now. The contact you are seeing on your screen is one of our staff that is handling it. So that's Jubril's contact. If you make payments to the account number there, UBA account, you can simply share with him, share to his number, or if you have my number, you can still share you can share your evidence of payment to me. So Abuja is 20th to 21st of March. Enugu is 27th to 28th of March. Lagos is 3rd to 4th of April. 20th to 21st of March, we still have enough time to plan for it. Enugu is 27th to 28th of March, while Lagos is 3rd to 4th of April. And because you register for this session, it is 100,000 for you. I'll be sending a separate email to those that registered, giving this account detail for you to also join. Why other people might be having it at early bird for 150,000. Is there any other question? Let me look at the, okay, we're having Jimmy. Jimmy wants to ask. Jimmy, you can go, okay. Okay, Jimmy has taken down his hand. Is there another person that wants to ask? I'm scrolling through. Okay, there is no question again. Before I ask everybody to unmute. If there is no other question, I'll ask everybody to unmute so we call it a night. Is there any other question? Yes, someone is asking. Okay, let me look at the comment section if there are questions there. Please, can we have, this is coming from Sanusi Adam, can we have the soft copy of the presentation? Yes, as long as you registered for this. I'm not sharing it in the WhatsApp group. I'm going to be sending it by email to you. Everyone that registered will have the soft copy of the presentation. We'll also have the recording of this presentation. I will share it, although we'll upload it in our YouTube channel, but I'm still going to share the link to you in the email, the mail you registered. Everyone that registered will have the slide shared to them. How much is the tap receiver? Okay, how much is the tap receiver? Okay, let me come back. I'm looking at the questions now in the comment section. Let me just respond to them. Between site calibration and base shifts, let me see that. Let me take this question. What is the difference between site calibration and base shifts? Good, that's a good question. So base shift focus on just one point. Let's take, for instance, your interest is not on a very large area. If you want to work we're going to do base shifts. We're going to do site calibration in the certified GNSS professional training. So I would like you to register for this training, certified GNSS professional training. We're not just going to talk about it. We will do it physically. We'll demonstrate it. Can we have certificate for the webinar? No, there is no certificate for this webinar attendance. No. There will be a certificate for the live training, the Certified GNSS Professional Training. This webinar is not a paid webinar, it's a free webinar. It's free for everyone to attend. But the certified training is for those that want to take their GNSS knowledge to the next level. So base shifts involve a single point. Let's take, for instance, you don't want to set up your base on the known control. You want to keep your base somewhere that is safe, and you just want to go to site with a single rover and calibrate the site. That is where base shift comes in. What base shift means is, my base, I want to bring it to a location. You can carry out base shift with a CORS station. Let's take, for instance, before CORS was established, there is a control on site that has a known coordinates. But in your location, when the CORS was established, you notice whenever you go to observe that control, it doesn't give you the same value like what you should get when you observe with the core. So what you can do, you can perform a base shift on that control. When you perform a base shift on that control, base shift requires 2 points. It requires the known value of that control and the GNSS value of that control. Once you enter the GNSS value of that control, the GNSS value is with respect to wherever your base is or wherever the CORS is. Once you enter those two values, it will compute the base shift parameter for you. And once you've applied that parameter, you observe that point, it begins to give you the known points. That is what base shift is. You want to focus on one control with respect to a smaller site. But site calibration would require about 4 controls, 4 or more. You have an entire site that you want to define your own local coordinate system, or you have a construction site that they have their own local coordinate system, and still in that site, you want to work with your GNSS receiver. Somebody might say, this is not possible because GNSS is giving us in double digits. No, it is absolutely possible. You can carry out a site calibration where your GNSS receiver begins to give you a local system. It could be 5 digits, it could be 3 digits, it could be 4 digits with respect to that entire site. That's why it's called site calibration. In the Certified GNSS Professional Training, we are going to demonstrate this and teach you how it is done. We'll teach you how to carry out base shift with respect to CORS station. We'll teach you how to carry out base shift with respect to a local base station. We'll teach you how to carry out site calibration with respect to a local site. Remember, you are a global surveyor and you can be in Canada and they will expect you to carry out base shift on the project. You can be in the US and they will expect you to carry out site calibration with the GNSS. All you need is to understand the concepts. Once you understand the concept using Tersus, using any other equipment, you can do it. Once you understand the concept using Tersus, you can do the same thing in any other equipment. And we'll be teaching you the concept in the Certified GNSS Professional Training. So the slide is there. You can see the slide, I believe. Make your payment, send your evidence of payment, and state the location where you want to train, where you want to attend the certified training, and just let us know. Is there an upgrade kind from present Tersus receiver, or we have to get a different receiver for TAP? So the TAP receiver is completely different from the ones you have. But if you will be in the Certified GNSS Professional Training, we're going to break down some other things for you and know if there's a possibility for us to do an upgrade for you. We don't talk about that in the public. It is for only those that have a one-on-one mentorship with us. We can tell you how, if that is possible, or what you can do to achieve that, or how we can make it easy for you to key into TAP with your own present receiver, or if we need to upgrade it for you, how it can be cost effective for us to upgrade it for you. We'll talk about that more in the Certified GNSS Professional Training. Another question is how much to connect to TAP outside Nigeria. You can okay, you're in Liberia. in Liberia is still within West Africa. We manage the distribution of Tersus in West Africa. So it is still the same thing, $450 for one whole year. $450 for one whole year. And Daniel, I don't know if you're in the Tersus GNSS user network. Are you in the group? If you are not in the group, this is my number. You can chat with me. I'm dropping my contacts here. You can chat with me. Then we can discuss how we can get that for you. Because we are representative of Tersus in West Africa, and Liberia is West Africa. So we can handle that for you, so you will get your receiver that can work with TAP. We can deliver that for you. Another question, soft copy will be shared. I have a question and contribution. Okay, Sobio Said, you can unmute yourself. Sobio Said, can you unmute yourself? Said, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, go on.
Good evening. Good evening, sir. Thank you for the lecture. So for us to get more exposure about the latest technology, first and foremost on the contribution, well, I think you've said about it some few minutes ago now. With your network of coverage of a Tersus receiver in Nigeria, to say, so that many of your clients or your subscribers will benefit more from this new technology of TAP. If it needs that you discuss with Tersus to come, or if it's going to be a software upgrade that will bring some of the receivers that are all spread around that many users are using now. If it is going to be a software upgrade that will upgrade it to TAP enabled, or if there's going to be something like maybe an add-on software, or maybe if it is possible to trade it in, so that many of users will not look at it in a way that, oh, does it mean that I have to forego my current receiver then to go and buy another one before I can benefit from this new technology? So I think that's one. Then on the issue of the height with a GNSS receiver, there's a problem with some of our CORS stations in Nigeria. Let me put it that way, based on the question somebody asked about the issue of leveling. Even most of the time, even if you do post-processing and you are not too conversant with the issue we have, why we don't always have a correct height that is comparable with height from leveling using GNSS receiver, is because of our joint model. It's because of our joint model. And I believe now that there should be a kind of a communal effort these days, whereby we have so many CORS in the country now, different state NIS, your own, private ownership like yours, and some other institutions too. If we can harvest some of this data, then I know that we can come up with something on joy to define the joint undulation for Nigeria. If we started from somewhere, like the Jordan model that we use globally, we have the EGM 96, I think EGM 88, and currently there's EGM 2008. You discover that they are refining it from time to time. So I think we can do the same thing for our own countries too. And each time that such a question come up, I looked at it that it's as if we are not doing what we are supposed to do. It is a matter of joint model that we need to define for our, and even if we cannot do it in form of a nationwide coverage, it can be started from a regional basis or even from a statewide basis. You said sometimes, I mean, during your lecture that you're trying to come up with transformation parameter for Lagos as regards vector 4 to define the transformation parameter. It will still be good too if in the contract you can also include the definition of the joint model into it. And I believe that with GPS observation, and there's some leveling observation too, or gravity measurement, that can actually be done. So that's it. Then on the TAP technology, the satellite, is a geostationary, as you have said. And as it is, how many satellites is TAP using currently? And, one geostationary satellite will definitely have a better coverage in some areas and then partial coverage in some other area. And if it is just a single satellite, then how soon are they coming up with more satellites so that the service can be available globally? And then lastly, then how is it comparable with some other augmentation service like WAS, like EGNOS, like WAGNOS that they use in Europe and some other advanced countries? So that's my question. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sir Said. So in terms of let's start with the leveling. Well, everything you said about the leveling is correct. But interestingly, it's not something that an individual will do. Is a collective project, both from the private, academia, and the government. And still is the government that is going to run it in relating with other people. It's government that will pull it. And I believe this Office of Surveyor General of the Federation will be working towards that regards. They'll be working towards it. Then, speaking about the receiver, true, we want to see how we would push more. Like the TAP, like I said, the TAP service is a paid service. So there are some people that might not really be interested in it, because you tell some people that the service is $450 for 1 year. So I might say, I don't need it. I'm using core, I have my base. But for those that need it, that's it. It's just a receiver. We can look at what is possible. That's why I said in our certified GNSS professional workshop, we'll take this one night is not enough to one night, maybe in the next 10 to 15 minutes, we'll be rounding up. It's not enough to pull down all this, but in that workshop, for those that will be with us, we can take more time to look at all these things and look at what is possible if you already have a receiver and you are somebody interested in paying for subscription for TAP. We can look at what is possible for you. Or if you have a project that you think would involve this TAP service, we can also look at what is possible for you. But we are not keeping it close. We are saying we are open to negotiation and discussion. And Tersus is also open to negotiation and discussion in that line for those that are interested in such paid service. So I just want to clarify that also.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So there's a fresh graduate asking, I'm a fresh graduate with little site experience. Will the training be user-friendly for beginners? Absolutely. Now, the certified GNSS professional training is an hands-on training. Every fresh graduate, before I became skilled with tool, I had knowledge in theory. So you're a fresh graduate, definitely it's not possible that you finish from a Nigerian university or Nigerian polytechnic and you don't have some level of theoretical knowledge about surveying. Using every surveying tool, the basic knowledge of whole to part has never changed. So if you have that knowledge of whole to part, the only thing now is, how do I use tool in solving that problem, applying that same first principle? So it's going to be very user-friendly for you. You have nothing to worry. Yomi. Let me just say Yomi. You have nothing to worry. It's going to be user-friendly if you would be in that training. Like I said, it's Lagos, Abuja, and Enugu, the certified GNSS professional training. 2 days intensive training. It's a whole day training from 9 to about 4 p.m. daily. So all these things we are sharing theoretically, we'll practicalize them, and it's a certified training. You will end up in those 2 days for an experienced professional. You will learn new tools, new skill you can apply in your practice, in your projects as it relates to GNSS. For somebody that is a beginner, you will learn new skill or tool that will make you even much more proficient in your job or in as you progress. Just to let us know. Let me look. We are close. We just have 10 more minutes. My plan is to end this training by 10 o'clock. Let me just look through the session if we have any other person. Don't forget, the payment is still ongoing. You can go ahead and make payment for the training. I want to appreciate everyone for joining us live. Like I said, the recording will be shared in the YouTube. I'm just looking at the YouTube channel. It is streaming live. I can see our screen. I can see my face, and the stream is working. So for those that maybe their internet is not stable on Zoom, you can just join through that link. Through that link, and it's very, very stable there. If there is no other question, okay, no training in, okay, I'm seeing a question. No training in South. Delta states await the training. Actually, we are thinking of that for now. We want to consider this maybe sometime later in the year. Yeah, I'm confirming this. Sometime later in the year, we're going to take one more training for those people in South. And if we have some other people interested, we'll look at other regions. But definitely we are coming to South later in the year, not this time. We'll come to South after the AGM. After the AGM, we're going to have a certified GNSS professional training in South, either Port Harcourt or Delta. We'll choose any of the two. Either Port Harcourt or Delta. We've not concluded. Either Port Harcourt or Delta will be the location for South training. How do we get connected to use the tap mode? Okay, I think I've answered that already. Okay, this question was 913. I've answered that. For fresh graduates, can the price be reduced? Fresh graduates, sorry, the price already reduced now, because if you register for this training, you are getting it at 100,000. Every other person that did not register, when the main flyer for the training is out, it is 150,000 early bird. So for only those that registered, you have an email that will tell you to pay 100,000 after this session. I will send that mail maybe over the weekend. By tomorrow or Monday, I'll send out that mail. But the training is already subscribed. I want to encourage you, Nzube Chuku, to grab this training with both hands. You are not just coming as a fresh graduate. The training is beyond knowledge. You are going to meet other professionals that you can begin to network with. You are going to meet our team. You can begin to network with. One of the strong reasons that has helped me is mentorship. From my IT days till my working days before starting Sacredon is mentorship. Mentorship guided me. And so, and what is mentorship? Mentorship is having somebody that you can reach out to. And this certified GNSS professional is giving you the opportunity for young persons to be mentored. And that amount of money is something very low. The training should be in Delta, the headquarters of South. The headquarters of South. Let's be guided. I don't know about that, Nuruddin. Note, it's not an NIS training. So we'll look at it and decide where it will be at that time. I don't know about that. It's not NIL, it's a private training. So we'll look at it and decide where it will be. But I know it's either River State or Delta State. We'll look at that. I think that will be all. Is there any other question I'm missing? If there's a question I'm missing, just raise your hand. I'm going through the questions. I think that's all. That's all. Let me unmute all of us. Then let me ask this question before when I unmute. Do we like my rap music? I've allowed everybody to unmute themselves. Everybody can unmute themselves now because we're about rounding up. Do we like my rap music?
I didn't get the rap music. I didn't hear the rap music. Me, I didn't hear the rap music. I want to play it again. Let me hear.
Okay. Let me play it again. Let me play it again before we end. And the music is about that. Let me just play it again.
Play it again. I can't wait. Let me hear it. I know back in the day in school, you produce one music. I know. It's like you have that mojo.
Always go on for.
Still, we serve it. Precision so high. Survey offshore, survey onshore, all tight ways. Increasingly, shining so bright. We dive down to the ground. Space stations ruled, signals inbound. The game just flipped. The system evolved.
Can we confirm we can see my screen?
Yeah.
No base, no CORS, no internet ties. Way still we survey with precision so high. Survey offshore, survey onshore, all tight ways. Increasingly shining so bright. We used to be stuck, tied down to the ground. Space stations ruled, signals inbound. The game just flipped, the system evolved. With that, the puzzle is fully solved. 1.5 centimeters, sharp aligned. Clean.
Let me
Survey onshore. You're a world where the limits are gone. Mapping the globe like the break of the dawn. Tap revolution, no table, no fuss. Till every terrain gets mapped out for us. From offshore rigs to the streets to the sky. Every tight, no mistakes, no stations. The always fade. Time is reduced. Efficiency's high. Surveying made simple. Straight from the sky. Elevation terrain. Launch was a line. Still, perfect with precision so high. Survey onshore.
Thank you everyone for being part of this session.
I want the light. Almost the same thing. It's almost the same, the light stage, and this is like us now. If case not there, it's almost maybe the same year, the same one, everything.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us in this session. Thank you for the session. I hope you enjoyed it. This is going to continue. There will be other sessions that will go on. This is the first one for the year. There will be one we are going to do for young surveyors after they're inducted as as registered surveyors. I will have a special session for them, defining your next 5 years as a registered surveyor. That's going to be for young surveyors. Basically, we're going to have that after their induction. Hopefully, the induction might come up next month in March. So after the induction, I'll have a special session for young surveyors. I'm still thinking if it's going to be paid or not paid, but we'll decide at that point on that session. Even if it's not going to pay, I will decide depending on my mood, just to encourage them, because most young surveyors, after getting registered, what next? You must define your next 5 years. So you don't spend 5 years and you're thinking of, what will I do, or going through a cycle.
You see that 5 years something back?
Systematically planned. So I just want to appreciate everyone again for coming to this session. We are so grateful.
So you must plan for the next 5
session
years.
has ended. I'm just going to play the last commercial from Tersus.
Like what I'm experiencing
why
now,
the video is playing.
5 years ago.
Humans have never stopped exploring and surveying the earth. The
So
human history
about
is
something for the young surveyors that
technology, a wider scope of surveying, the accuracy is constantly being improved.
The next 5 years, what it will look like.
Has been the way people understand and create the world. We are Tersus GNSS, committed to improve the life quality of everyone in the world. Our robust products and affordable centimeter precision solutions transform the workflow and make it more efficient. Equipped with in-house designed RTK boards as well as advanced processing technology, Tersus GNSS systems provide you the unprecedented flexibility and accuracy in the sky, in the ocean. Wherever innovative positioning applications are needed, you can rely on Tersus GNSS for continuously accurate and real-time positioning. In Tersus GNSS, we're inspired to push innovation to the limit and have it alive. Great job. Tersus products are powered by its own technology with integrated wisdom of skilled professionals. Fully in product.
Young guys.
Oscar GNSS receiver provides accuracy less than 2 seconds. We strive to deliver perfection by 2017. Worldwide. Nigeria with 108 Oscar GNSS receivers. Again, are chosen by the experience. Era of intelligence. Everything is connected. Tersus trusted GNSS solutions link the information and the globe. Unlimited value is created from extensive application in unmanned vehicle, autonomous driving, surveying, control, precision breakthrough. Meanwhile, Tersus GNSS is determined from devoted R&D, continues developing technology applications, exploring, surveying the globe. Tersus GNSS knows exactly what the world looks like and gets right to the point. Together, drive life changes.
Our training has ended though. Do we have any other engagement?
I know that manufacturing is not something you can exhaust, especially
So good night, everyone. Thank you for coming again. Thank you, Daniel, for staying. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Timo. Thank you, Oladele. Thank you, Lawal. Thank you, Savio John. Thank you, Oladele David. Thank you, Roland. Thank you, Savio Julius. Thank you, Topsy. Thank you, Innocent. Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you, Admin. Thank you, Odeyale. Thank you, Ajofoyibo. Thank you, Ekin. Thank you, Olatoye. Thank you, Edenonso. Thank you, Onyedikachi. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate everyone for joining us. Thank you, Savio General. Savio, thank you very much for joining us live. Thank you, Raf. For joining us. Thank you, Pius. Appreciate it. So let's keep in touch. If you have any personal question or concern, my number, I shared it in the chat. You can chat me up on it, and we'll continue to support the surveying community. And like I said, this training. Good night, everyone. You can unmute yourself and say good night.
Good night, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. For him now, an opportunity just
Good night.